already we have studied the very important types of elasticity of demand. So, how many types of elasticity of demand? Three types of elasticity of demand. Is that clear? So, first is income elasticity of demand. Second is cross elasticity of demand, and third one is price elasticity. We are going to start third types of elasticity of demand. The name of that type is price elasticity of demand. That type in this lecture, then symbolically, and what is the main types of price elasticity of demand. We have studied what is the main, according to Dr. Albert Marshall, price elasticity of demand. So, what is the define? What is the meaning of price elasticity of demand according to Dr. Albert Marshall? Price elasticity of demand is a ratio. Price elasticity of demand is a ratio to a percentage changes in quantity demanded due to percentage changes in price of commodity. It is called, or it is known as price elasticity of demand. Is that clear? So once again, ED is equal to percentage changes in quantity demanded, percentage changes in quantity divided by upon percentage changes in price of commodity. In price of commodity. Okay. So ED is equal to, ED means price elasticity of demand is equal to percentage changes in quantity demanded upon percentage changes in price of commodity. Symbolically, ED is equal to percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. So, percentage delta Q. Delta is symbol for represent changes. Percentage delta Q means quantity demanded upon percentage delta P means change, percentage changes in price of commodity. Or ED is equal to changes in quantity demanded upon Q divided by delta P upon P means changes in quantity demanded divided by Q, delta Q upon Q divided by delta P upon P, or ED is equal to delta Q upon Q into P upon delta P. So what is the meaning of delta? Delta means changes in quantity demanded divided by Q means original demand. Delta P means changes in price divided by original price. It means, so delta Q means there are different difference between new price and original price. Difference between new price and original price, and delta P means difference between the new price and original price. Difference between new demand or original demand. Delta Q means difference between new demand and original demand. Delta P means difference between original price and new price. Q means original demand, P means original price. So today we are going to start what is the main types of price elasticity of demand. Okay, here is some jumbling are there. So how many main types of elasticity of demand? There are three main types of elasticity of demand. So first is income elasticity of demand, second is cross elasticity of demand, and third is price elasticity of demand. So today we are going to start subtypes of price elasticity of demand. Okay, subtypes of price elasticity of demand. So there are three main types of only elasticity of demand, and there are five subtypes of price elasticity of demand. Okay, heading is types of price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of okay. So types of price elasticity of demand. Okay, so once again heading is types of price elasticity, types of price elasticity of demand. Okay. First, okay, there are main five types of price elasticity of demand. So first is perfectly elastic demand, second is perfectly inelastic demand, third is unitary elastic demand, fourth is relatively elastic demand, and fifth is relatively inelastic demand. That is the sub five types of price elasticity of demand. So first types of price elasticity of demand. Perfectly elastic demand. Perfectly elastic demand. So first meaning when slight or price of commodity brings about infinite changes in demand. Infinite changes in demand. It is called as perfectly elastic demand. So definition of perfectly elastic demand or infinite elastic demand: simple. When slight or zero changes in price of commodity. Look at that. When slight or zero changes in price of commodity. So what is the impact on quantity demanded? So commodity brings about infinite changes in quantity demanded. It is called or it is known as perfectly elastic demand. So what is the meaning or what is the define of that first types of price elasticity of demand? When slight or zero changes in price of commodity brings about there are infinite changes in quantity demanded. It is called or it is known as perfectly elastic demand. Is that clear? So that types of the demand is in theoretical practice only. Is in theoretical practice. So for example, so when price falls, means ED is equal to percentage changes in quantity demanded divided by percentage changes in price of commodity. So for example, if price falls 20%, and demand rises infinite, or at that time demand is infinite. So at that situation there are found of perfectly elastic demand. Is that clear? So perfectly elastic demand. So when slight or zero changes in price of commodity brings about there are infinite changes in demand, it is called as perfectly elastic demand. So it is in only theoretical practice. It's only theoretical practice. So perfectly elastic demand can be explained with the help of diagram. Okay. Why O X. Y-axis indicate price of commodity and X-axis indicate quantity demanded or demand. Quantity demanded or only demand. Is that clear? Okay. DD is the demand curve. Look at that. DD is the demand curve. So at that place, DD is equal to that. You use that symbol. That symbol indicate infinite. There are ED means elasticity of this price, elasticity of demand is infinite. Is that clear? So look at the diagram. Explanation of the diagram. Y axis indicate price of commodity. So you are right. Y-axis indicate or represents price of commodity, and x-axis indicate quantity demanded. Quantity demanded. Okay. So in the diagram, DD is demand curve. DD is demand curve. It means DD is demand curve straight line. Which types of line? Straight line means horizontal straight line. Horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis, and in this case, elasticity of demand is infinite because the perfectly elastic demand occurs in only theoretical practice. So listen, very important highlight there. So in case of perfectly elastic demand, in case of perfectly elastic demand, DD is the demand curve. The DD is the demand. DD is the horizontal straight line that curve. Horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, parallel to x-axis, and in this case, DD is equal to infinite. I use that symbol. The symbol represents or indicate there are elasticity of demand is infinite. Is that clear? Okay, so that is the first types. Then second. Second types of price elasticity of demand. Second, perfectly inelastic demand. Here change only in inelastic demand. Second type. First type is perfectly elastic demand. And second is perfectly inelastic demand. First types of price elasticity of demand is perfectly elastic demand. Second one is perfectly inelastic demand. So in that five kinds, meaning example, formula, and diagram. Okay, sir. So when changes in price, leads to there is no any changes in quantity demand. Mean demand remain constant or same or equal. It is called as perfectly inelastic demand. Means when changes in price leads to or there is no impact on quantity demanded, means quantity demand remain constant or remain same. It is called perfectly inelastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, so look at that. What is the definition of perfectly inelastic demand? When changes in price leads to there is no any changes in demand. I mean demand remain constant, or when any changes in price of commodity, there is no impact on quantity demanded. It is called as perfectly inelastic demand. Means, look in simple. In this case, demand remains same. Means when price rises or when price falls. When price rises, when price falls, there is no any changes of quantity demanded. It is called as perfectly inelastic demand. There is no any changes in quantity demand. It is called as perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, it means when changes in price, it means price falls or price rises, but there is there is no any impact on quantity demanded. Means quantity demanded remain constant. It is called as perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, in this case, okay, so ED is equal to percentage changes in quantity demanded, price of commodity. Okay, it means, look at that. So ED is equal to percentage changes in quantity demanded divided by percentage changes in P. So when price falls, 20% and demand rises 0%. 0 upon 25 is equal to 0. So in this case, perfectly inelastic demand, okay, found in case of milk or salt, that types of necessities goods. Okay, so there is no impact on that goods demand, because when price fall or rises, there is no impact on that commodities demand. So it can be explained with the help of diagram. So y-axis indicates price of commodity and x-axis also represents or indicates the demand. So look at that. DD is demand curve. P, P2, P1. Okay. So ED is equal to 0. Okay. So in first times, elasticity of demand is infinite. इन्फिनाइट म्हणजे अनंत. लक्षात आलं का? हा. आणि या दुसऱ्या प्रकारामध्ये ईडी आहे 0. कारण बघा किंमत वाढली किंवा किंमत कमी झाली तरी मागणीमध्ये कोणताच प्रकारचा परिणाम होत नाही. कारण या दुसऱ्या प्रकारामध्ये मागणी ही टोटल कशी असते? स्थिर असते. रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट. ओके. सो y axis indicate the price of commodity and x axis indicate the quantity demanded. In this case, so dd is the demand curve. dd is the vertical straight line parallel to y axis. In second types, the name of the types is the perfectly inelastic demand. So dd is the vertical straight line parallel to y axis. And in this case, when price falls from P to P1 and when price rises from P to P2, there is no impact on quantity demanded. This means the demand remain same or remain constant. In this case, ED is become 0. Okay, ED becomes 0. Why? Because when changes in price leads to there is no any changes in quantity demanded, it is called as perfectly inelastic demand. So in case of perfectly inelastic demand, dd is the vertical straight line parallel to y-axis. Okay, in this case, when price rises, when price falls, there is no any impact on quantity demanded. It is called as perfectly inelastic demand. Okay. Then third type. Third type, unitary elastic demand. Okay, unitary elastic demand. Okay, so unitary means एक. ओके, एकक लवचिक मागणी. पहिली कोणती बघा लक्षात ठेवा, पूर्ण लवचिक मागणी, दुसरी पूर्ण अलवचिक मागणी आणि तिसरी एकक लवचिक मागणी. सो मीनिंग when percentage changes in price, there are proportionate changes. There are proportionate changes in demand. It is called as unitary elastic demand. Unitary elastic demand when percentage changes in price of commodity. So what is the definition? What is the definition of unitary elastic demand? When percentage changes in price of commodity, there are proportionate changes in quantity demanded. It is called as unitary elastic demand. It means when percentage changes in price, proportionate changes in quantity demanded. It is called as unitary elastic demand. Is that clear? Okay, so what ED is means when price falls 50% and demand rises also 50%. Okay, so ED is equal to percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. So ED is equal to 50% upon 50% is equal to 1. So in this case, elasticity of demand is 1. It means unitary. It is known as unitary elastic demand. So meaning of that 50% upon 50% is equal to 1, because the meaning of unitary elastic demand is when percentage changes in price. So there are proportionate changes in quantity demanded. It is called as unitary elastic demand. So for example, when price falls 50% and also demand rises 50%. So what is the formula? It means it can be expressed as follows: ED is equal to percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. So ED is equal to 50% upon 50% is equal to 1. So in this case, price elasticity of demand is 1. Okay, so unitary elastic demand can be explained with the help of this diagram. So the diagram explain y-axis indicate price of commodity and x-axis indicate the quantity demand. Quantity demand. Look at it, very simple. DD is demand curve, PP1, QQ1, ED is equal to 0, ED is 0. फक्त हा डायग्राम काढताना एक गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवायची की जेवढा प्राइस मध्ये चेंजेस होतो तेवढाच क्वांटिटी डिमांड मध्ये चेंजेस दाखवायचा. लक्षात येते का? म्हणजे जेवढा, कारण यामध्ये इमिडिएट करायचं आन्सर आपल्याला एक आलं पाहिजे. इथे 50% चेंज झाला तर इथे 50%. तुम्हाला जो तुमच्या मनाने घ्यायचा आहे तो, तुम्हाला 20% दाखवायचा, 100% दाखवायचा, 40% दाखवायचा, तर 50% आपण 50% फक्त आन्सर वन आलं पाहिजे. त्याच्यामुळे चेंजेस इन प्राइस आणि चेंजेस इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड हे फक्त जे डिस्टन्स आहे हे डिस्टन्स कसे घ्यायचे, सेम घ्यायचे आणि मग तो कर्व तयार करायचा आहे. लुक ॲट दॅट. सो y axis indicate price of commodity and x axis indicate quantity demanded. In this case DD is the demand curve and slope of demand curve is rectangular hyperbola. ओके, त्याला म्हणतात या तिसऱ्या प्रकारामध्ये मागणी वक्र हा परिवलयासारखा असतो. रेक्टँग्युलर हायपरबोला पहिल्या प्रकारात तो अक्षाला समांतर असतो, दुसऱ्या प्रकारात तो अ अक्षाला समांतर असतो आणि तिसऱ्या प्रकारामध्ये तो परिवलयासारखा असतो. म्हणजे इट इज कॉल्ड द स्लोप ऑफ डिमांड कर्व इज रेक्टँग्युलर हायपरबोला. सो in this diagram y axis indicate the price of commodity and x axis indicate the quantity demanded. So when percentage changes in PP1, so also proportionate changes in quantity demanded QQ1. So that types of two changes indicate with the help of DD demand curve, and the slope of that demand curve is rectangular hyperbola, and in this case so elasticity of demand becomes 0, is 0. Why? Because so when a percentage changes in quantity demanded is equal to percentage changes in price of commodity, means when price falls it is called as, it is known as unitary elastic demand. Okay. Then type number 4, subtype of price elasticity. Number 4, relatively elastic demand. It is called as more than one elastic demand, greater than one elastic demand, or more than one, greater than one. It is called as relatively elastic demands. Meaning when percentage changes in price when percentage changes in price more than more than proportionate changes in quantity demand. In quantity demand, it is called as relatively elastic demand, or more than one, greater than one elastic demand. Okay, so when percentage changes in price more than proportionate changes in quantity demanded, it is called as relatively elastic demand or more than one elastic demand. So for example, when price falls 50% and demand rises 100%. Look at that. When price falls 50%, demand rises 100%. So ED is equal to percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. So ED is equal to 100% rises in quantity demanded and 50% falls in price of commodity. So 50% and 100%. 50 to the 100, 2. So answer is 2. So answer is 2. It means more than 1. It is called as relatively elastic demand. Answer is more than 1. Answer is more than 1. So when percentage changes in price more than proportionate changes in demand, it is called as relatively inelastic demand. Means when price falls 50% or 50, or demand rises 100. 51 sub 50, 52 sub 100. So answer is 2, means more than 1, not less than. More than 1, it is called as greater than 1. So it can be explained with the help of this diagram. DD is the demand curve, PP1, QQ2. ED is equal to more than 1. More than 1. In this case, demand curve is the slope of demand curve is factor FLT are flatter. Okay, so y-axis indicate the price of commodity and x-axis indicate the demand. आता लक्षात ठेवा, प्राइस मधला चेंजेस हा 50% आहे आणि डिमांड मधला चेंजेस हा 100% आहे. म्हणजे या अंतरापेक्षा याचं अंतर कसं दाखवायचं, जास्त दाखवायचं. When changes in price of commodity PP1 is so, or when changes in quantity demanded QQ2, when changes in quantity demanded QQ2 is greater than more than the changes in price of commodity PP1. So that types of the situation indicate with the help of DD demand curve. The slope of that demand curve is the factor FLTR, and in this case elasticity of demand is more than 1, because when percentage changes in price more than proportionate changes in quantity demanded, it is called as the relatively elastic demand. So my dear friends, remaining or last types of sub-types of price instead of demand. Studies will be 2 marks. Okay, thank you.